The International Institute for Innovation and the Peter F. Drucker Foundation for Nonprofit Management announced the second annual Peter F. Drucker Award for Canadian Nonprofit Innovation to Tetra Society of North America.
Well, Tetra was originally started as a very selfish pursuit on my part. I wanted to be able to live independently in my apartment, and I simply could not live and do the things that I expected to do in life. And I found that I couldn't butter my bread, I couldn't open my curtains, and all these other simple tasks that were right out of reach for me. And I just had a hard time imagining that in Canada, 20th century, that there wasn't some sort of a system that I could access to do these things. And sure enough, I went through every angle possible, and I found that there was really nothing to solve these types of problems. And with all of the people moving out of institutions, I thought, well, something should be done. So I got together a few people, and we met and tried to come up with some solutions, and that's how it started. We wanted to provide technical services so that people needing an assistive device would be able to find a good person who could, work for them and work with them, not in a sense that the person is going to solve their problems, but together they solve the problems. And the disabled person is very much a part of that whole process. It's not somebody doing something for you, it's together working on it. Tetra volunteers have produced some very innovative and high-tech solutions. Many of them are quite mundane and quite simple, and some of those are my favorite ones, and it all depends on what the problem needs, and we believe very much in appropriate tech.
What Tetra is a group of designers, engineers, electronic engineers, civil engineers, and volunteers who get together once a month and sit down and brainstorm solutions to a variety of problems that have come forward to us through the organization of Tetra. Basically what happens is a physically challenged person sends in a request for assistance in some area, some kind of an adaptation either to a wheelchair, to their home, whatever. Method of walking their dog, releasing the clip.
Well, I needed something to hold a set of binocular so that I could watch birds, because my hands and my arms aren't strong enough to hold binoculars up to my eyes to watch them.
And once we've got this request and we find out it's not available as a commercial product, then we set about finding somebody within our group that's capable of coming up with either with an idea or remanufacturing an existing piece of equipment. But often it's a fresh idea, because that's why they've come to us. They can't get it.
Colin come out and to inquire what I needed and do some sketches. The first time it needed some modifications, so he took it back to his workshop, modified it, and brought it back out again.
This one was actually quite cheap. We took a tripod clamp, it was about $22, and a piece of aluminum I had kicking around the basement, and part of an old headrest off one of my old cars. And put half of it, the female part, on the chair and the male part on the rod, and then she can take it off and on as she needs to.
Tetra is composed of volunteers, so they don't charge for their time, which is wonderful, because a lot of people with a mobility problem, it's not just their bodies that are handicapped, it's their finances that are severely handicapped as well.
We started developing a package of material, and the people received the material, and many of them started up affiliated groups. Not only have we had letters from Canada, but we've had letters from all over the States. And we have a very interesting fellow in Texas who's a high quadriplegic, and he's setting up a group in Texas. And we are really looking forward to getting programs happening all over the United States. The general philosophy of Tetra is we want to fit into the world. And we're not really asking the world to fit into us. But we realize that only goes so far, and that there are some basic essentials that we need in order to participate in life. And after that point, we'll figure it out. If we can at least get there, we'll figure out how to live once we're there.
Thanks to the following for their sponsorship of the 1994 award: Bank of Montreal, the Kahanoff Foundation, International Development Research Center, the Molson Companies Limited, George Weston Ltd, Power Corporation of Canada, Liberty International of Canada, Foundation for Association Research and Education, Canadian Society of Association Executives, Imperial Oil, McKinsey Company, Community Foundations of Canada.